The systems designed to save you time are eating more of it than ever. Automated customer support traps you in loops for 20 minutes. Self-checkout machines freeze and summon staff. Digital forms reject your perfectly valid information because it doesn't fit their narrow boxes. These systems aren't broken, they work exactly as designed. The software runs, the interfaces load. The real problem? Convenience was built for companies, not for you. The friction didn't vanish, it just moved onto your shoulders. What used to be the company's problem became your unpaid job. You troubleshoot. You adapt. You translate your actual problem into whatever categories the machine understands. They promised relief. They delivered a different kind of work that doesn't feel like help at all. The pitch behind all these systems is identical. Scalability, consistency, cost savings, zero errors. Humans are expensive and inconsistent. Support staff need training and can only help one person at a time. Cashiers need wages. Bureaucrats lose paperwork. Software scales infinitely. One chatbot handles 10,000 conversations with the same cost. Self-checkout runs 24/7 without breaks. Digital forms validate instantly and route approvals automatically. No sick days, no mistakes. No waiting. Removing humans removes friction, or so the theory goes. Wait times disappear. Inconsistency vanishes. Training costs drop to zero. The logic assumes people behave predictably. Customers ask simple questions. Purchases scan cleanly, form submissions fit neat categories. Organizations genuinely believe they were improving your experience while slashing costs. On spreadsheets, it made perfect sense. Reality had other plans. The promise was instant answers, 24-hour availability, no hold music. Get help faster, anytime you need it. Why it made sense flows from genuine need. Companies field millions of repetitive questions. Password resets, order tracking, account balances. Natural language processing seemed good enough. The cost savings were massive. Where it broke reveals the brutal truth. You must translate real problems into system-approved categories. Your package vanished, but the bot asks if you want to track an order or request a return. Neither option fits. The system forces you to pick the least wrong choice and hope. Edge cases explode everywhere. Password reset? Smooth. Account locked for fraud? Total meltdown. The decision tree has paths for common problems, but dead ends for anything unusual. Escalation gets deliberately hidden. Ask for a human and you get looped back. I can help with that. Please tell me what you need. The system assumes if it can't help you, you probably don't need help. Emotional validation disappears entirely. Something goes wrong and you're frustrated. The bot responds to your anger with the same cheerful nonsense it uses for routine questions, making it crystal clear the company doesn't care whether you're satisfied or furious. Time cost shifts completely. The company cuts support expenses. You spend 30 minutes describing your problem 4 different ways, digging through useless help docs, eventually giving up or resorting to desperate Twitter complaints. Result: customers repeat themselves across channels, chatbot, email, phone, social media, explaining from scratch each time. Resolution takes longer than old-school human support. Frustration accumulates silently while companies see metrics showing successful completion that actually means user gave up. SECTION4SELF checkout machines. The promise was speed, autonomy, no waiting for cashiers. Scan your stuff, pay, leave. Simple. Why it made sense came down to economics, labor costs rising, margins thin, and customers already comfortable with self-service online. Barcode scanning seemed foolproof. Where it broke starts with a blunt reality: you're doing unpaid labor. The store transferred checkout work to you without compensation or training. You scan, bag, enter, produce codes, navigate payment, all tasks that used to be someone's actual job. Systems are shockingly fragile, weight sensor glitches. You brought your own bag and triggered theft alerts. Scan produce without the right code, and the whole thing freezes. Every tiny deviation from perfect procedure creates errors requiring staff intervention. The supposed labor savings evaporate. Staff now troubleshoot 5 machines instead of running 1 register. They're constantly interrupted, unlocking frozen terminals and overriding false alarms. Theft prevention treats everyone like criminals. Weight sensors on everything, cameras recording your face. Random bag inspections. The system assumes you're stealing until proven otherwise. You get responsibility without authority, something goes wrong, you can't fix it. You wait for staff approval while the attendant implies you caused the problem. Result? Stress replaced speed. Checkout used to be passive, now it demands constant vigilance. Stores cut costs while customers feel suspected and blamed. The promised convenience became anxiety with a side of surveillance. The promise was efficiency, accuracy, instant validation. Submit everything online with automated approvals and immediate confirmation. Why it made sense builds on real problems. Paper forms had illegible handwriting, missing fields, weeks of processing delays. Digital systems enforce completeness, catch errors instantly, create audit trails. Where it broke is wickedly subtle. Humans must bend to system logic instead of systems bending to human reality. The form wants street address, city, state, zip. You live rural with a mailing address that has no street number. The system rejects your actual address because it doesn't match the template. Enter false information or give up, those are your options. Real life doesn't fit drop-down menus. Your work history includes contract gigs, caregiving gaps, overlapping part-time jobs. The form wants neat boxes. Start date, end date, employer, title. No space for context. Standard full-time employment or nothing. One wrong digit blocks everything. Mistype your social security number and the entire submission fails. The error message won't tell you which field. Review everything. Find the mistake, start over. No tolerance for typos a human would catch instantly. No discretion exists. A person would see you transpose two numbers and just ask for confirmation. The system can't tell typos from fraud, so it treats both identically reject and demand resubmission. Appeals are harder than the original process. The automated system denied you? Now you're fighting its conclusion instead of presenting your case. Burden of proof shifted. You must prove the machine wrong. Result: processes feel hostile. Everything serves system convenience over human reality. People comply but resent it, forcing their lives into bureaucratic boxes that misrepresent their situations. Time savings for organizations become invisible time costs for users. Trust erodes with every interaction. All three systems share the same failure DNA. Labor shifted from paid staff to unpaid users. Organizations call it self-service empowerment. Reality? Cost transfer in disguise. Control drops while responsibility explodes. You're responsible for scanning correctly, filling forms perfectly, categorizing problems accurately, but you can't override errors or fix anything yourself. When it breaks, you own the consequences without any power to solve them. Systems optimize for averages, not humans. The typical case works fine. Organizations see success metrics. Meanwhile, everyone hitting edge cases, a substantial minority experiences the system as actively hostile. Exceptions became punishment. The old model had flexibility. Humans recognized unusual situations and adapted. The new model has rigid rules. Your situation doesn't fit the pattern? You're not accommodated, you're rejected. Being different became evidence of wrongdoing. The measurement illusion completes the picture. Companies track completion rates and processing speed metrics that make automation look brilliant. What's invisible? User frustration, prep time, workarounds, abandoned opportunities. The system's optimized for numbers that ignore actual human experience. Systems that actually help use selective automation with human override. Routine tasks get streamlined. Complex situations get human attention. The system recognizes its limits and provides exits instead of traps. Hybrid models crush full automation every time. Self-checkout works when staffed lanes remain available and workers actively help instead of waiting to be summoned. Automated support succeeds when reaching a human is easy and you don't repeat everything. Digital forms function when they include open text fields and humans review edge cases with actual judgment. Physical staff nearby creates essential safety valves. You'll tolerate machine errors if help is accessible. Anxiety comes from being trapped with no recourse. Optional automation respects reality. Some people love self-checkout. Others want interaction. Some situations suit automation. Others need judgment. Choice beats forced compliance. Clear exits prevent frustration loops. A chatbot offering a phone number after 3 interactions is helpful. One requiring 7 escalation levels is hostile. Same technology, different priorities. Accountability requires identifiable humans. Automated systems diffuse responsibility. No one made the decision, so no one answers for it. When humans stay involved, you know who to contact when things break. Convenience fails when efficiency wins over actual human experience. Removing humans was supposed to eliminate complexity. Instead, complexity got dumped on users who became unpaid labor for systems built around corporate priorities. The problem isn't technology. It's the belief that removing humans removes problems. Humans weren't the problem. They were the solution to inevitable complexity and variation that no system can eliminate. These systems made sense in spreadsheets and pilot programs. They shattered against human diversity situations outside templates. Needs beyond categories, problems requiring judgment instead of rules. The brittleness wasn't technical failure. It was a design choice that valued system simplicity over human accommodation. Organizations adopted this because it made institutional sense. Users tolerate it because alternatives vanished. The friction accumulates gradually, making it hard to pinpoint when convenience became burden. What separates helpful automation from hostile automation is simple. Does the design start with human needs or corporate efficiency? Systems built for users provide flexibility, preserve agency, offer recourse. Systems built to cut costs transfer complexity, remove choice, punish deviation. The path forward isn't rejecting automation, it's demanding that automated systems include human override, design for exceptions not just averages, and measure success by user experience instead of operational metrics. Convenience should mean less work for users, not just less cost for companies. That difference determines whether technology helps or just extracts labor while calling it progress.